Semi-candidates will return to class on 1st March, nearly a year after they left school following the President's address last night.
The S5s, the S3s, and the P6s. Apparently, the total number is 1,687,032. That is about 1.7 million, roughly.
With a few weeks to the return of these learners, questions are being asked about the preparedness of the schools.
We have enough classrooms for all of them. We have about now 28 free classrooms, which are not being used by the senior 4s and senior 6. So, and we intend to, out of these, we are going to use just about 15 of these classrooms. So we still have some extra capacity to take on some more classes.
We shall move with the government because we schools, we cannot say no, since we are not in politics. But if it was political, we would say no, we shall not open. Then we would see where the government would take all of these children, especially in the private sector, because they have no facilities anyway.
The school heads are worried about the high cost involved in running the day-to-day activities of the institutions, with a few numbers of students asking for government intervention.
How I wish government could also look into the possibility of increasing the funding for the schools, because the cost of operations have actually gone high. We now have these implementing SOPs. These mean funding, and yet our funding has not increased.
There are so many costs we incur when there are only 2 classes. There are so many costs we incur even when there are only 4 classes. But we shall just bear, because we know even the parents out there, they are not okay.
President Museveni last night said the Ministry of Education would work out a plan for other learners who for now will continue studying from home until the current candidates leave.
I think the programs on TV and radio should be resumed. And also those materials which are being distributed from the ministry to enhance learning at home, let them come, so that these students are occupied. Once they are not occupied, they become idle.
You cannot have contact. And in most cases, we want to have contact with our learners in order to understand, to ascertain, do they understand? Do they have this? Even when you give them work, you have to ascertain, have they written down the work? Have they understood?
The Secretary General of the Uganda National Teachers Union, Philbert Baguma, says the move has not been well thought out and more consultation is needed.
If the President made it very clear that the academic year for 2020 is ending this July, then what is the fate of these classes which were not talked about? We should have had a roadmap indicating that the semi-candidates are going to report on 1st March, and then these other classes will report subsequently, maybe on 1st April or so. Now, this would help the parents to prepare. It would help the learners to prepare and the teachers to prepare.
Universities and other tertiary institutions will also reopen in March in shifts to complement the online studies. Raymond Tamale, NTV.